Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Variation and evolution. Variation is a difference which exists in individuals of the same species at corresponding stages in their life cycle. Types of variation. These are morphological variations or physiological variations. Morphological variations are those variations that deal with the physical appearance of individuals. 1. Height of body. 2. Shapes of body parts. 3. Sizes of various parts of the body. 4. Color of parts of the body. 5. Fingerprints. 6. Height of a plant. For plants, we have sizes of leaves, shapes of leaves, color of leaves, length of leaves. Physiological variations are those variations which relate to the functioning of the body. 1. Rolling of the tongue. 2. Moving of the eyes. 3. Closing of one's eye and leaving the other open. Tasting the chemical substance called phenylethiocarbamide. 5. ABO blood group. 6. Whether male or female. Application of variation. Variation could be applied in the following ways. 1. Crime detection. 2. Blood transfusions. 3. Determination of paternity. 4. Classification of human race. For crime detection, fingerprints may be used. 4 types of fingerprints include A. The whorl, B. The loop, C. The arc, and 4. The double whorl. In crime detection, morphological features such as the color of the eyes, the skin complexion, the color of hair may be used to search for a suspected criminal. DNA fingerprints may also be applied in crime detection. The fingerprints are used in developed countries to detect crime. The body cells left at the scene of a crime are collected and their DNA patterns are analyzed. For blood transfusions, blood groups are characterized by certain proteins in the body. These are antigens in the red blood cells and antibodies in the plasma. An antigen is a substance that can induce the formation of an antibody. There are 4 blood groups in man. These are the A, the B, the AB, and the O blood group. These are the ABO blood groups. The table here gives an analysis of the blood groups. This means that one with blood group A possesses antigen A but has the antibody B. One with the B blood group has antigen B with the antibody A. One with the AB has antigen A, B, or any without an antibody in plasma, that is none. For the O blood group, no antigen in the red blood cell but has anti-A, anti-B in the plasma. Determination of paternity. For paternity to be determined, variation is also needed. If there is a dispute as to the actual father of a child, the knowledge of the blood groups is used to resolve this kind of dispute. The blood groups of the mother, the child, and disputing fathers are determined. From the results of the tests, the actual paternity of the child may be determined. Classification of human race. Variations in skin color and some other physical characters have been used to classify the human race into 4 major groups. A. The Caucasoid. B. The Mongoloid. C. The Negroid. D. The Australoid. The Caucasoid are the light-skinned people, example the Europeans. The Mongoloid are the yellow-brown skinned people with straight hair and moderately broad nose, the Chinese and the Japanese. The Negroid are the black-skinned people with woolly hair and broad nose. Examples are the black Africans and Afro-Americans, which could also be called black Americans. The Australoid are the brown-skinned people with curly hair and moderately broad nose. Example, Australian Aborigines. Variations in skin color and some other physical characteristics resulted in classifying human race. Adaptation. Adaptation is a change in an organism that makes it to adjust or survive in its environment. Competition. Competition is a struggle for existence that results when two or more species have requirements in excess of the available supply. Types are 1. Intraspecies competition and 2. Interspecies competition. Intraspecies competition involves competitions that exist between individuals of the same species. Examples are organisms competing for space and scarcity or availability of food. Interspecies competition involves the competition between individuals of different species. Example, sheep and goats. Structural adaptations. This involves feeding adaptation in various animals. 2. Structural adaptation for defense and protection. 3. Structural adaptation for securing mates. 4. Structural adaptation for regulating body temperature. 5. Structural adaptation for water conservation. 1. Feeding adaptation in various animals. Men, birds and insects have their various ways of feeding. Men possess premolars and molars. Birds possess different shapes of beaks, whereas insects have different mouth parts, such as the mandibles, the labrum and maxillary palps. Structural adaptation for defense and protection. For defense and protection, example, the chameleon uses photosensitive cells on its skin to pick the environment in which it finds itself as a measure of protection from its prey. Structural adaptation for securing mates. For example, the male peacock has beautiful feathers, which it displays to the female to attract them. The red-haired agama lizard raises its head up and down to attract the hood female. Also, the insects' pollinated flowers are mostly brightly colored. Structural adaptation for regulating body temperature. 1. The mammals maintain a constant body temperature due to the presence of hairs and furs, while the cold-blooded ones, like fishes, adjust using scales to give them the required temperature. Structural adaptation for water conservation. A. Xerophytes possess thick cuticle and water reservoirs in their stems to help them withstand loss of water. Example, acacia and baobab. Also, camels are able to travel long distances in the desert without drinking water for days. Adaptive coloration. Examples: 1. Insects are attracted to brightly colored flowers. 2. Chameleons change color due to their environment. 3. The multicolored nature of an object may be a sign of warning. 4. Some animals pick up the color of the environment in which they stay most of the time. Examples: fishes in the sea have darker top sides. 5. Mimicry. This is an act of an organism trying to disguise itself to be a non-living thing, like dry leaf or stick, for the sake of survival. Example: the praying mantis. This mimics a dead leaf, and the insect catechid that mimics a fresh leaf. Behavioral adaptation. The following are effects of grouping on behavior of organisms. 1. Strict division of labor. 2. There is lack of craftsmanship since the work is done in mass. 3. The danger is that some are rendered redundant. Behavior among groups include the following. 1. Contact methods. 2. Estivation. 3. Hibernation. 4. Dormancy. 5. Migration. 6. Social animals. Social animals include A. Termites and B. Bees. For the contact methods, each and every animal has a peculiar or characteristic mode of making a contact note. Example: toads croak, some birds coo. Estivation. Some remain dormant during dry season. Example: the mudfish. Hibernation. This is when animals undergo dormancy, especially in winter, during which metabolic rate is much reduced and the body temperature of homoeuthermic species drops to that of the surrounding. Dormancy. Some seeds of plants and spores of microorganisms might remain inactive due to unfavorable environment for years. Examples: cyst formation in protozoa like amoeba. Migration. Some animals like birds, fish, flee from cold winter down to the tropics only to come back when the weather improves. Social animals include the termites and the bees. The various castes differ in appearance as well as duties each and every one of them perform. That is, workers, soldiers, kings and queens as seen in termites. Examples of social animals include termites, bees, wasps, foxes, wolves, elephants, baboons and humans. Castes in social insects. For termites we have A. King and queens, B. Workers, C. Soldiers. The king and queens are referred to as reproductives. For the workers, they perform functions such as build mound, forage for food, tend fungal gardens, etc. For the soldiers, they defend the territorial integrity against intruders into the colony. The bees. The queen is concerned with laying of eggs. 2. They fertilize the queen. The queen is also known to be lazy. 3. The stereo females are the workers that do the building of the hives. Behavioral adaptation of termites. 1. They ward off enemies easily as they move in mass. 2. They feed on dead or living organic matters. 3. They make burrows that are air conditioned even in the harsh tropical savanna soil. Behavioral adaptation of honeybees. 1. Workers feed on nectars from flowers. 2. The senses of smell and sight are used in search of food. 3. The worker bee dances around the food site, signaling other workers to come around. 4. Numerous eggs are always laid during summer when flowers bloom and there is enough nectar for the bees. 5. The activity in a beehive tends to stop during cold weather due to the fact that the queen and workers must have gone hibernating.